The Nissan X-trail, it's been 23 years since the car has been launched globally. It has been 11 years since it was last sold in India. And it has been exactly 1 year since we saw the showcase of the X-trail in India. So finally, after a year, Nissan has decided to launch the X-trail in India. It's coming as a CB unit, but we're just happy that it has come to the Indian shores finally. And in this video, we're going to tell you everything that you need to know about this car, how many units will be coming to India, and how it performs. So let's get started. Now, let's talk about the design. Now, this is based on the 4th generation X-trail, which is sold in Japan. Now, it's not the top-end variant that is sold in Japan. It is somewhere in the middle. And Nissan tells us that this variant has been made only for India. It will be available and sold only in one variant, which is this one that we are looking at. Now, if you look at the front, it has a very Nissan signature grille. You get these two slats of chrome, which looks really nice. And here you have a dual tone bumper, nice gray finish here. Right here you have active grills. These vents will open and close as per the airflow that is needed. And if you come to this side, you have the headlamp below. Right above the headlamp is the DRL, which also doubles up as a turn indicator. And right here is an air curtain, which actually reduces the coefficient of drag. The bonnet, it's nice, butch. It has these creases right here to give it an uplifted look. And it does look like an imposing SUV. Coming to the side, you get 20-inch alloys. Yes, they're nice and big. 255/45 tire. And you get all 4 disc brakes. At the rear also you get a similar size tire. Right here you have some cladding. Now, the reason I say that this is not the top end variant that is available in the global markets, because those variants have chrome finish on this cladding right here. Body color door handles, you have 360-degree camera and turn indicators integrated right here. Satin silver roof rails, and you get some chrome on this sloping roofline as well. Moving to the rear, you get all LED lighting. You have this L-shaped tail lights with this raindrop-like effect here right here. This is the reversing light, and this is the turn indicator, which is a bulb. You get a high stop lamp, shark fin antenna, and you get a rear wash wipe as well. Right here you have the Nissan logo and the X-trail branding in chrome. This is where the reversing camera is located. And if you thought that the boot can be opened from here, no. You have a handle and a boot release button right here. So let's open it up and see what it looks like. Now, when all the 3 rows are up, you get about 177 liters of boot space. And if you see, we have 3 backpacks right here and 1 duffel bag, which is completely full. So that's the amount of luggage that you can carry with all 3 rows up. This is what the boot looks like when it's empty. Right here you have a shelf, and this right here is a parcel tray which can be attached if you put these seats down. Now, to drop the seats, you have this lever right here. You can pull this, and there's a 50-50 split for the 3rd row, and both these seats can be put down to open up 465 liters of boot space. And these 2 seats have a 40-20-40 split, which can be put down. And if you're carrying something really long, you can just put the central part down and, shove anything long in there, and you can carry it very easily. Now, getting into the cabin of the Nissan X-trail is fairly simple. The door opens nice and wide. You can get yourself in a very comfortable driving position very easily. The seat can be adjusted manually. So you have electric lumbar support only for the driver. And if you look at the cabin layout, everything falls at hand very nicely and easily. The steering wheel is nice. It is leather wrapped. You have this nice Nissan logo. You have all the controls right here for cruise control and your media controls as well. And the steering wheel is also adjustable for reach and height, so you can get a very comfortable driving position which suits you the best. Now right here you have this drive selector, which is very nice and easy to use. The operation is pretty smooth, and you can compare it to higher premium cars like Mercedes and BMWs. You have these two cup holders, wireless charging pad, two USB sockets, one for a type C, one type A. Now this slot right here is used to connect to Android Auto. It does not get wireless Android Auto. You need to connect it with a cable, and there is no Apple CarPlay on the car, wired or wireless. At the center you have this floating infotainment display, and easy to operate. It's pretty basic, not something like you've seen on the modern day cars right now. And you have all basic functions right here. The touch response is pretty decent. It's not the best in the segment, but it's fairly usable. And I'm glad that Nissan has stuck with physical buttons for the aircon controls. So you have these dials to adjust the temperature, AC, put it on and off, and the fan controls are right here. This is the handbrake. You have the drive mode selector right here. It has 3 driving modes: Sport, Eco and Normal. And you also have the auto fold function. Right here you have an armrest which gets a butterfly door, and you can store snacks, drinks right here. Now you have a floating midsection right here, which means that you get a lot of storage space here as well. So here you can store your extra phones, wallets, and any other stuff that you might like to carry. Now I want to talk about these seats here. They are very, very comfortable. You get a good under thigh support. You get nice bolstering on the sides and right here as well. The cushioning is really good, and even for long drives you're going to stay very comfortable in this seat. Now they are not leather, they do not get ventilation, but in terms of comfort they are very nice. Also the interiors are nice. You have soft to touch materials everywhere, so it's pretty premium. Nice stitching here, contrasting. You get the satin silver finish. The glove box, though it looks big, it is not very deep and it's not very wide, as you can see. So you can store very limited items. The reason for that is this fuse box right here. So on the right hand drive cars, Nissan has not moved the fuse box to the right hand side. They've kept it on the left itself like they do on the left hand drive cars, which has restricted the glove box space. Other than that, you have automated IRVMs, you have a sunglass holder right here, and you have a sunroof which is panoramic, and it can be opened halfway through. So that's the opening that you will get on the X-trail. Now let's hop into the back seat and see what the space there is like. Now at the rear you get a nice long bench seat. Again, the door is nice and wide opening, 85 degrees. So the reason for that is to get your child seat in easily. You should not have any trouble getting the child seat in. And the child seat has these anchors right here on both sides. Now another good thing about these seats are they have this sliding function. So you can get a desirable seating position, and they can also be reclined. So you get a comfortable seating position. Now I have adjusted this to my height. The driver seat is also adjusted to my height, and my height for reference is 5'9". You can see I have decent amount of headroom, decent knee room, lot of foot space, and since this is a flat floorboard, you can still seat an adult here. Now since the seats can be reclined, I can get a very comfortable position. If there are no passenger seating at the back, I can go really back and relax. I get 2 AC vents at the rear. There is a type A charging port and a type C charging port as well. You have individual reading lights and handle with coat hook. And the seats, like the front, are very comfortable. Now the middle passenger gets 3-point seat belt and also a headrest. This right here also doubles up as a handrest, and you have a slot to keep your phone and 2 cup holders right here. So if you want to sit in comfort, you can put this down and enjoy your drive. Now let's address the elephant in the room, the third row. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to fit in there, but we're going to try. So getting into the third row, you have this lever here, you pull it and you slide the seat ahead. The space to get into the third row is very narrow, but you get this handle here so you can hold on to the handle, climb in, and as you can see, it is a task getting into the third row. Oh. And if you can see my knees, they're already coming out of the seat. So in my position, in my seating position, there is no way that an adult of my size can sit in the third row. This seat is good only for kids. And for the kids, there is a cup holder right here. There is some space to store a phone or other knickknacks. However, there are no charging ports. There is no dedicated AC vents, but you do get this reading light at the rear. So yes, very short journeys for adults, smaller than me obviously, or the seat is just for kids. Well, I'm driving the new Nissan X-trail and boy, I got to tell you, this engine has really got me surprised. Now, it is a 1.5 liter 3-cylinder engine, and if you look at the specs, you would say that a 1.5 liter, a 3-cylinder engine, how much power is it going to make? It makes 163 PS of power and massive 300 Newton meters of torque. Obviously, it's a turbocharged engine, and this engine has something called BC turbo, which is a variable compression turbo that is a patented Nissan technology, and this is the first car in India to get this tech. No other car in India has this technology. Nissan's variable compression turbo engine uses a multi-link system in place of a traditional connecting rod to rotate the crankshaft. And an actuator motor changes the multi-link system endpoint in order to vary the piston's reach to transform the compression ratio. In simple words, this makes it possible to vary the compression ratio continuously as needed within the range of 8:1 for high load and 14:1 for low load. The optimal compression ratio can be continuously set to match the operation of the accelerator pedal by the driver. So whenever a change in compression ratio is needed, the actuator motor moves the actuator arm. The actuator arm rotates the control shaft. The rotation of the control shaft moves the lower link, changing the multi-link system angle. And the multi-link system adjusts the vertical position of the piston stroke within the cylinder, changing the compression ratio. In a practical application, whenever you want higher power, the compression ratio will come down to 8:1, and whenever you are not going hard on the pedal, you will get better efficiency and the compression ratio will be 14:1. So what that does is gives you ample performance at the tap of the pedal. And if you can see, like we are cruising now, so like we are up at about 80 kmph, and what you do have paddle shifters here. It's a CVT gearbox, but you do get paddle shifters, and it's a 8-speed CVT. Now I'm in the 5th gear. I put the gears down so that we can pick up some speed. As soon as I hit the throttle, you'll see that the engine responds quickly and picks up speed. And if I just switch the gears, we've reached 115 in no time. Now the 120 is the speed limit here, so we're going to stick with that. So the reason I'm showing you this is because you have power on tap, and the engine is not as noisy as you would expect from a 3-cylinder motor, and you can hardly hear any noise in the cabin. There is good insulation. The tire noise is also very limited, and this is a very stable car. There is very limited body roll, and triple-digit speeds, cruising at triple-digit speeds is its sweet spot. It enjoys being in the triple-digit speeds, and it can munch miles and miles as you drive this car. It's very effortless to drive. It comes with the CVT gearbox, but the rubber band effect that you get from CVTs, it's not that pronounced on the X-trail. So that makes it even more fun and easier to drive, and also it is more desirable. I mean, I could drive whole day long and not get tired. These seats, like I said before, they are very comfortable. They have the right amount of cushioning and the right amount of support. In terms of suspension as well, we were driving in the city, we drove it on the highway. It's a very well balanced suspension. You get 20-inch wheels, but you get the right amount of rubber also. So it's not too sporty, it's not too soft, and you get a good balance. Overall, everyone sitting in the cabin, they're going to be very comfortable in this car. The steering, on the other hand, I felt it is a little light to my liking. A little more heavier, sporty steering wheel, or a little more feedback would have been better, but it's not that bad. I mean, it's not a complaint, I'm just nitpicking here, and it is very precise, so a slight twist and it changes direction very easily. Now, this car gets 3 driving modes, and this is the driving mode selector right here. So you get Eco, Standard and Sport mode. So if you can see, as soon as, I'm just going to leave the throttle and you can pay attention to the RPMs here. So we are in the Eco mode now. We're doing about 1400 RPM. As soon as I go to Standard and Sport, immediately the engine has jumped to about 2400 RPM. So it's very responsive in the Sport mode, and you can just quickly pick up speed. So the Sport mode has been the most fun to drive mode. While I've been driving today, the Sport mode has been the most impressive mode, and I have enjoyed driving the car in that mode. And the Eco mode is best suited for the city. If you're in stop-go traffic, you can be in that mode. In the Eco mode, you will feel that the car is a little lazy to respond. The gear shifts are quicker, and you don't get all the 300 Newton meters of torque in the Eco mode. The Standard is balanced, so you can use it in the city or highway cruising as well if you want more fuel efficiency. But if you want to have fun, the Sport mode is the best. In terms of fuel economy, you should get about 15 to 16 kmpl on the highways if you're cruising at a decent speed. In the city, you will get around 9 to 10 kmpl. Overall, about 12 to 13 is what we estimate. We have not been able to estimate it right now while we are driving, because we've been really pushing the car. We've been driving on the highway, cruising at 120 kmph. We've also been testing the car a lot, and the AC has been on while we were shooting. So right now we won't be able to give you the exact number, but when we get the car for a prolonged duration, we'll be able to do that road test for you. But it is in the ballpark of 13 to 14 kmph. So this is one of the rarer sunroofs that I can get out of her, and I think it's time for us to tell you who this car is for and what it is all about. Now, we don't know what the price is of the Nissan X-trail, and we do know that it is coming as a CBU unit, so it's going to be on the higher side. We are expecting anywhere between 30 and 40 lakhs. But if Nissan manages to price it a bit lower, it is a very good value for money proposition, because that engine and that VC turbo tech that Nissan has really works wonders for this car. It's very stable on the highways. There is very negligible body roll, which is very rare in an SUV. It's quite a tall car. The ground clearance is 210 mm. So yes, it is a tall car. It is a big brawny SUV. It has street presence, and it has everything going for it. Now, it's not the best because it does lack some features, does not get ADAS, and also the infotainment system is not up to date. It's not up to the mark with the competition. However, in terms of pure mechanics, the driving feel, it is a very solid car. Now, to me, the X-trail is a statement that Nissan is trying to make to the world and to the Indian market, that they are not going to be a one-car wonder. And they are going to bring a lot of cars in the coming future, because the CBU business is now going to be open, and it's going to be starting with the X-trail. Now, though this is coming to us in very limited numbers, I'm sure that they will go off the shelf very fast. And these cars are already in the Chennai plant, so you won't have to wait long to get delivery. So if you book this car starting August, you will be able to get your hands on one. I hope I was able to answer all your questions about the Nissan X-trail. If you have any more questions, put them down in the comments, and subscribe to Motoroids if you haven't already. Press that bell icon so that you get notified whenever we upload our next video. This is Vipul signing off. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, rev hard, rev free, and drive safe.